If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, it's Friday, January 18th, and it's 3:28 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're going to be getting into some Q-related news. Q has not posted, but that has never stopped us before. We can always find lots going on in the news that is related. So I do want to apologize for yesterday. I uploaded a video that did not have sound. As I told you previously, my new kitten had chewed through my microphone, and it's being held together with spit and duct tape. No, really, it is. And anyway, once I get feeling better, I will get out and I will get a new microphone. But for now, I have to keep glancing over every now and then to make sure the green light is still on. And it is. Good news. So we're going to get into that. And also, look, for you guys that are regular listeners, you know that the only time my hair is ever straight is those few minutes after I get out of the shower. And we are in that window. So, as always, don't scare the hair. I deserve a few minutes every day to have my hair straight. These are wonderful minutes that I enjoy immensely. So please, no one scare the hair. Now, let's get into the Q-related news, shall we? I know you didn't come here to look at my hair, and if you did, you're creepy. Anyway, now this was a couple days ago, actually, and I pulled this out and I let you guys know about these hateful comments by a person called Brummy the Brit. Well, as it turns out, I need to offer my sincere apologies to that person. Their account had been hacked. Several people had told me, gee, that doesn't sound like this person. I know them from being around Q and Anons and different forums and so forth, and this is a Christian man. He would not say these things. Well, indeed, those who wrote those comments were correct. He didn't say those things. His account was hacked, so I do want to offer my sincere apology to him. And there's no hard feelings. He had asked that I perhaps delete that video. I'm not sure I want to do that, but I am, will certainly call it out as a mistaken identity. So you guys that have, maybe tried to hunt this person down, stop. So anyway, there we are. I may go back and edit that video as well to take that out because I don't want to ruin his name for no good reason. All right, here we go. This new, I guess she's a rookie congresswoman. She furthers the homophobic conspiracy that Lindsey Graham is compromised. Now, this is nothing new. We've had these rumors for quite some while. Now, this is the part that I find hard to believe. If you were Lindsey Graham and you were going to tell your secret, if you indeed have had one, to someone, would you choose her? I'm just saying that's probably the last person that I would choose, or pretty close to the last person that I would choose. But apparently she knows that Lindsey Graham has this horrible secret that he is keeping from everyone, and Trump is blackmailing him with it, apparently, according to her. And she would know. Is she the one that married her brother? I'm just wondering. So anyway, I'm not going to go through all this because it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. For one, we know that when Trump came into office, what he did was he made deals with all these people that they had a lot of smut on, a lot of garbage, a lot of whatever, whether it be, I don't think it was necessarily their personal lives, but if they had anything on these people, what they did is and remember, Q explained this to us, that you cannot prosecute everyone, because there are so many. It would be tied up in the legal system for years and years and years and years, probably decades. So what Trump did was he said, look, you know what? If you want to step down, you go ahead and step down, or you retire, or what have you. We won't pursue anything. But if you don't, we're going to make this public. Now, Q explained that all really well about a year ago. And I know some of you are new to Q and haven't been following that long, but I'm just filling you in on past history. So why would Lindsey Graham, why would he have not stepped down? If Trump had something so horrendous that he could use to blackmail him, why wouldn't he have stepped down? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me at all. And okay, he changed his mind. Yes, he was against Trump, and now he's for Trump. Well, how many of us were against Trump and are now for Trump? I wasn't for Trump when he first... Now, I couldn't vote at that time because of my immigration situation, but if I could have voted, I would have voted for President Trump, because I would definitely not ever, not even dead, would I, well, maybe if I was dead and somebody stole my identity, I might vote for Hillary, but only if I was dead, only. That's the only time I would ever vote for Hillary. So I would have voted for Trump, but I would not say that I was a Trump fan. Now, that's changed because I see the results of what he's doing. He's doing everything he said he was going to do. Everything. So what is not to like? I don't know. So is Lindsey Graham not allowed to have that privilege? Is he not? And why not? And why is this woman already stirring the pot of crap? Big old pot of crap she's stirring. Oh, yes. Now, that's not something that I would do. If I was a brand new congresswoman, I really would not want to get in there and start stirring the pot. I would want to focus on learning my job, number one. Number two, learning about everybody that's there. Who is, who are the players? Who are the major players? What's happening? That's what I would be concentrating on. But no, not her. She's in there stirring the pot, making enemies right away. So anyway, I'm really doubting that she has any of the dish on Lindsey Graham, because I can assure you that Lindsey Graham was not telling his deep, dark secrets to her. Can assure you of that. Anyway, enough of that. It just made me angry, and I wanted to come to his defense because I think it's ridiculous. And you know what? Okay. He has denied over and over and over again that he's a homosexual, but so what if he is? Now, okay, I'm not talking about between him and his creator or anything else or the moral, not talking about that, okay? Not at all. I'm saying if he's in there and he's a homosexual, but he's doing his job, which is what he was hired to do. We didn't hire him because he was straight or gay. He was hired to do a job. If he's doing that job, then great. I don't think it's anybody's business, personally. That's just how I feel. We didn't hire him to be our pastor. If we did, that might be a little bit different. It might be a lot different, but we didn't. Okay? So now, let's look at, let's look at this. This is important to get to as well. I see we are still recording, so you should still be able to hear me, which is great. I guess if you want to hear me, it's great. If you don't, it's not so great. You probably need to check out another channel. Bye-bye. Anyway, Pelosi thought she had a foolproof trick to cancel the State of the Union. Didn't know the Secret Service was ahead of her. I like this. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi apparently thought she could cancel President Donald Trump's State of the Union address over security concerns, but the Secret Service had a different take on it. On Wednesday, Pelosi wrote a letter to Trump suggesting that the partial government shutdown will interfere with security at the State of the Union address. Sadly, given the security concerns, and unless the government reopens this week, I suggest that we work together to determine another suitable date after government has reopened for this address, or for you to consider delivering your State of the Union address in writing to the Congress on January 29th, Pelosi wrote. And coming down here, sorry, just making sure that everything's all still connected and that my cat is not chewing on anything that could lead to a catastrophe. Pelosi specifically mentioned the Secret Service in her letter. The U.S. Secret Service was designated as the lead federal agency responsible for coordinating, planning, exercising, and implementing security for national special security events. However, both the U.S. Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security have not been funded for 26 days now, with critical departments hamstrung by furloughs, Pelosi added. That is my favorite line in a long time. Hamstrung by furloughs. Doesn't that just sound so, I don't know, something that it's not? Hamstrung by furloughs. That's going to be the name of my next book. Hamstrung by Furloughs by Mishel, McCumber. All right, those were my deep thoughts for the day. They're gone now, so everyone should be safe. Pelosi must have thought she had a nice trick going. She could achieve a crassly political goal, shutting down the State of the Union address and keeping the president from making his case to the American people, while pretending she was acting out of concern about security. However, according to the Daily Caller, a senior law enforcement source said Pelosi never even reached out to the Secret Service or the Department of Homeland Security before writing to Trump. In other words, she lied. The department was not hamstrung by furloughs. However, the Secret Service was never contacted by congressional leadership regarding our security plan or the Secret Service ability to carry it out, the official said. Additionally, the Secret Service had already had its security plans for the event prepared months ago, according to the NBC reporter Pete Williams. Yeah, so it was already set up. It was already, it had already been looked after. But, Pelosi thought the Secret Service was hamstrung by furloughs, and she had to do something about it. No, that's actually not what she did at all. She was just trying to pull a power play, and she lost. Well, we'll see more about that later. She lost. Yeah, she was trying to, because didn't she say that she had equal power to the president or some such nonsense as that? Anyway, I guess she doesn't. He showed her. All right, let's go back and see what this is now. Love it. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was en route to the airport when she found out her plane was denied takeoff by President Trump. Yes, she did. Just in, Trump hits back. President Trump cancels U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip to Afghanistan just as she was about to travel. This comes just a few days after Pelosi asked Trump to cancel the State of the Union address because her flying to Afghanistan and all these places, Egypt, Afghanistan, and there was another place, Brussels, I do believe, she was traveling. It was non-essential travel, and she's upset. Now, does that not make sense that they would shut this down and not allow her to fly when the rest of, the federal government is not being paid? This takes her away for another 7 days of travel. These are 7 days she's not available to negotiate with Trump, although she has no intention of negotiating, none whatsoever. And she's being gone another 7 days, meaning that the federal workers will go without another paycheck because she can't drag her white butt to sit in a seat and make a compromise on behalf of the American people who pay her wage. No, she wants to be flitting around to different countries for no good reason. Oh, I bet you there is a good reason. I bet you there is, and I bet you it has nothing to do. I bet it had nothing to do whatsoever about our government. It probably has lots to do with her getting kickbacks from different people, but hey, that's just what I surmise. And here is the letter. The Honorable Nancy Pelosi, who is, I don't know how he can call her the Honorable Nancy Pelosi with a straight face. I couldn't, but. Dear Madam Speaker, due to the shutdown, I'm sorry to inform you that your trip to Brussels, Egypt, and Afghanistan has been postponed. We will reschedule this 7-day excursion when the shutdown is over. In light of the 800,000 great American workers not receiving pay, I'm sure you would agree that postponing this public relations event is totally appropriate. I also feel that during this period, it would be better if you were in Washington negotiating with me and joining the strong border security movement to end the shutdown. Obviously, if you would like to make your journey by flying commercial, that would be certainly your prerogative. I look forward to seeing you soon, and even more forward to watching our open and dangerous southern border finally receive the attention, funding, and security it so desperately deserves. Sorry, this is very blurry, and I can't unblur it. And it's signed Donald J. Trump, our president. And here, the U.S. Air Force bus has returned to Capitol Hill, and several members were spotted leaving the bus. Members leaving bus: Elliot Engel, Adam Schiff, Mark Takano, and Susan Davis, and Stephen Lynch. Moment bus filled with Democratic officials, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, left the Capitol Hill. This was before they were informed of the president's cancellation of their trip. Sources say Dems are furious. Well, good. Are they furious enough to fund the wall? Probably not. I also noticed now I think his name is. I think Steve Doocy is the father on Fox News, and Peter Doocy is the son. I think I may have that mixed up. Anyway, the son, who I actually enjoy watching his news stuff for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I cheer him on because he's young. But anyway, he he had this and somebody had a clip on Twitter, and I wish I could find it again because it's hysterical. Because they're driving around, Capitol Hill in this bus. They're not wanting to get out where the news could see them because they're embarrassed, and I understand that. But here's this little guy, the Doocy lad. I don't know. I think it's Peter Doocy. Anyway, he could hardly keep from laughing. I mean, you could tell this guy was cracking up. He was like, well, they're running away from us for some reason. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure it was embarrassing. And then Trump, of course, had to troll Pelosi even further by placing her luggage cart right outside of her office. I loved that. Anyway, this is a little off the topic of what we've been, but it's never off the topic here. Hold up. I just realized something. The B in LGBTQ stands for what? Bi, meaning bisexual or attracted to both genders. The prefix bi means two. By virtue of the LGBTQ's own definition of bisexual, gender is binary. Two genders are what exist, so that's problematic. Well, it is problematic because they're saying there aren't just two genders, right? There's zillions of them. There's genders everywhere. So how can somebody be bi? Because that would assume that there are only two genders, right? Things that make you go, I'm just wondering. All right. And here, breaking, BuzzFeed investigative reporter who broke the bombshell story of Trump directing Cohen to lie about a Trump Tower deal in Moscow said on CNN that they haven't seen any evidence to confirm the story. Well, isn't that something? Wow. They don't seem to need evidence anymore. All they need is accusation. All they need is accusation, and it's just accepted as true. Now, here, going back to Pelosi and the whole airline thing, think you need to see this. No, really, I think you do. I think you'll want to. And this by Judicial Watch. Judicial Watch uncovers new documents detailing Pelosi's use of Air Force aircraft for her family in 2010. Well, imagine that. Records also detail massive Pelosi-led bipartisan congressional junket to Detroit Auto Show. Judicial Watch, the public interest group that investigates and prosecutes government corruption, announced today that it has obtained new documents from the United States Air Force detailing then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's use of USAF aircraft in 2010. The records obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, which include flight manifests, expense summaries, copies of receipts, and congressional correspondence, detail a number of trips made by Speaker Pelosi in 2010, including a May 6 to 10, 2010 congressional delegation to Afghanistan and Germany to discuss issues of mutual interest in Qatar and Afghanistan, as well as conduct oversight on women's issues, troops in Afghanistan, and to visit with U.S. troops and meet with government officials in Germany. The total cost of military travel was $204,135. The records indicate then Speaker Pelosi made a personal request that the maximum per diem allowance be made available at the enhanced rate of an additional $50. Numerous trips were made by Speaker Pelosi between San Francisco and Andrews Air Force Base. Several of these trips included members of Speaker Pelosi's family, including her husband, daughter, granddaughters, and son-in-law. For example, one staff summary sheet detailing a January 4, 2010 flight from San Francisco to Andrews Air Force Base notes that Pelosi's daughter, Christina, owes for $99 flight and $7.82 meal. The document suggests that the Speaker's office was billed for the fees, but do not indicate whether the bills were paid. I doubt it. A January 7 to 10, 2010 congressional delegation to Detroit, Michigan, for the express purpose of reviewing the impact of congressional appropriations and policy in promoting innovation, technological development, and job creation in U.S. auto industry. The Detroit trip required $24,336.60 in commercial air travel and an additional $10,046.87 in expenses. The Pentagon also paid for military escorts for the trip. One document notes that the mode of transportation for the trip would be Com Air and Mil Air, commercial air travel and military air travel. However, the only cost related to the military portion of the transportation detailed in the reports is a $15,000 advance secured for ground transportation, meals, and lodging. Representative Tim Ryan drove himself to Detroit and sought $228 in mileage reimbursement, a total, which is, I think that is totally appropriate. A total of 24 House members, 16 Democrats, 8 Republicans, led by then Speaker Pelosi and then Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, were on the list of participants. So, overall, according to the documents uncovered by Judicial Watch in January 2011, Pelosi used the Air Force aircraft for a total of 43 trips, covering 90,155 miles from January 1st to October 1st, 2010. Judicial Watch, through Freedom of Information, continues to pursue other records related to Pelosi's use of Air Force aircraft. Previous documents obtained by Judicial Watch show the former Speaker's military travel cost the United States Air Force $2,100,000. Is that right? Yeah, $2 million. Over $2 million. Over a 2-year period, $101,429.14 of which was for in-flight expenses. $101,000 for in-flight expenses. Can't she take a peanut butter sandwich? Apparently not. Including food and alcohol. Oh, alcohol. Well, we know where the expense came from. For example, purchases for one Pelosi-led congressional delegation traveling from Washington, D.C. through Tel Aviv, Israel to Baghdad, Iraq, May 15th to 20th, 2008 included Johnny Walker Red Scotch, Grey Goose Vodka, E&J Brandy, Bailey's Irish Cream, Maker's Mark Whiskey, Courvoisier, Cognac, Bacardi Light Rum, Jim Beam Whiskey, Beefeater Gin, Dewar's Scotch, Bombay Sapphire Gin, Jack Daniel's Whiskey, Corona Beer, and several bottles of wine. Judicial Watch also previously uncovered internal Department of Defense documents, email correspondence detailing attempts by DoD staff to accommodate Pelosi's numerous requests for military escorts and military aircraft, as well as the Speaker's last-minute cancellations and changes. For example, in response to a series of requests for military aircraft, one DoD official wrote, "Any chance of politely querying Pelosi's team if they really intend to do all these, or if they are just picking every weekend? There's no need to block every weekend just in case." The email also notes that Pelosi's office has a history of canceling many of their past requests. Okay, well, we're not going to continue with that, but I do have somewhere, for your viewing pleasure, a copy, yes, a copy of if I can find it. Oh, here it is, I believe. Let me see. I do have a, it's like a laundry list of the, of the liquor that she takes on board these flights. She loves to fly on our dime and brings family along. For example, Speaker Pelosi used the Air Force aircraft for a total of 85 trips, covering 206,000 miles, 264 miles from March 2nd, 2009 through June 7th, 2010. And, okay, nope, that's not what I was looking for. I don't know. Perhaps I will find it in my journeys here, so I will continue. Look at this, Chuck Woolery. Nancy Pelosi's bill for alcohol on her flights from Washington to San Francisco every week. We pay for it, $1,000. On average, $52,000 a year for booze. Taxpayer money. Thank you very much. No. She should have to pay this back, really. Really? $52,000 a year? For booze? Like, there are Americans that support a whole family on $52,000 a year. And she uses it up on booze in 1 year. Now, that's just on the airplane. That's just on the airplane. That's not the other times that she may be drinking. Holy crap. Really? How does somebody... That's just like her flight. How many hours is that? What, 4 hours across the country? Maybe? I don't know. It's not that far. Cross country. I mean, it takes me 4 hours from here to get to Vancouver. So I would imagine it's about a 4-hour trip, maybe slightly longer. I don't know. And just in that trip, $1,000 a week. Wow. All right. All right. I'll get off that now. Okay, and here, just because I have to drive it home more, because, hey, I'm like that. Here's another, here it is. This is what I was looking for. Look at this. If I can make it any bigger. Here's all the alcohol. Paid your taxes on time? Good, because Nancy Pelosi needs to pay her tab. Documents uncovered via a Freedom of Information request shows Pelosi racked up over $101,000 of taxpayer dollars for in-flight services. Yeah, so, okay. Well, here's just another source, but let's leave that for now because, you know, just because we can. There's lots of other things to get up to. Okay, let's look at this. Liar Pelosi canceled Trump's speech due to lack of security, but lined up extra security for Democrats' private trip to Belgium, Afghanistan. Not Belgium, Afghanistan. Belgium and Afghanistan. Yeah. Speaker Nancy Pelosi sent a letter to President Trump on Wednesday asking him to postpone the State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress scheduled for January 29th. Pelosi cited security concerns over the partial government shutdown, but that didn't stop for her arranging extra security for her trip. And by the way, Trump told her that she was welcome to travel commercial airline, which is what she did. But my bet is she isn't traveling coach. Yeah, so she's over there, doing whatever she's doing instead of sitting her butt down in a chair and negotiating. Anyway, I don't want to spend all night on Nancy because, okay, this is something, and I have noticed myself with YouTube. It's getting really bad. Like all my videos are being demonetized. I just feel like I'm being stalked by Twitter or by YouTube, and Twitter is becoming the same way. There's something going down, and I have that feeling. I just have that feeling that they are preventing some news by getting out, and the best way to do that is to target the conservatives that they know will report on it. So according to Joe M. from Twitter, there's been a sudden rise in auto blocking over the past 2 days. This is where Twitter automatically blocks accounts you follow. You don't realize you block them and never see their posts. They are getting ready for something. I feel that way too. I really do. I feel like they are getting ready for something. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what that is. But when there's a huge push on to silence the conservatives, silence the Trump supporters, silence those that follow Q, silence the anons, when there's a huge push like that, something's coming down the pipe. So whether it will be good or whether it will be bad, I don't know, but that's what they're doing. So let's look at this as well. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this video and I'm going to come back and do another video as well, because it's just easier. I know a lot of you don't like the really, really long videos, and this makes it more people can view it this way, because one long video tends to put people off. I've discovered that. Anyway, I know some of you like the longer videos as well, so I'll mix it up. But I know some of you, you do your house cleaning, you do whatever while listening to it, and I totally get that. So anyway, I'll mix it up some. Anyway, here we have got Daniel Baranowski, Pelosi, and 99 other Democrats were going to be gone for at least 7 days. Well, and they are gone. I don't know if how many Democrats assisted her or went with her. But accompanied her, I guess would be the right word, but I'm not sure, but we know that she has gone. 7 days more of shutdown guaranteed, 7 days more of no solution on border security, 7 days more of caravans racing to our border, going to visit the military. Democrats don't even like our military. All BS, and I agree, totally. It is all BS. I don't know what she's doing over there and what the Democrats are doing over there. I don't know if they're making deals. I don't know. But it's not what we think it is. I can assure you of that. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it there, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another video just because I can. And I hope you guys will stick around for the second video today, or if you're busy now, come back and watch it later when you're off work and you can put your feet up and relax. Have a cup of hot coffee, cup of tea, and enjoy the video. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Thank you also to you guys that contribute to my Patreon account or buy me coffee every now and then. It really helps, and it especially helps when little mishaps like my kitten chewing through my wire happen, because I can then take the money out of that and not have it affect my personal income. So it does help, and I do appreciate it very, very much. I may not always thank everyone, but I really appreciate it more than you know. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. It's Friday, so I hope that you guys are looking forward to the weekend. I certainly am. And I will be here, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, reporting to you. So talk to you later. Bye-bye.